Hey guys, Ultimate Deadpool here. Real quick, just got finished watching Daredevil Season 2. Um, this season was definitely interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Again, keep in mind, I've never seen this show before, never even thought about watching this show before, because I didn't know much about the character. But I'm enjoying this, like I said in my several times before, I'm enjoying this show so far. Um, There were a couple of episodes in season 2 that I felt were a little bit slower, but I think that was done on purpose. Um, there was a lot more court case type stuff towards like the middle segments of the show or the season, which I thought was fine. Um, there is a surprise, I guess you could say, second or fourth secondary type character introduced into the season. I'm not going to say who it is for those of you who may not have seen the show yet, by some chance, unless it's just me, which it is what it is. But for those of you who know what I'm talking about, please do not put spoilers in the comment section below, just for people who may not have seen the show yet. But that character, I was so afraid when they introduced this character that I'm like, okay, I do not like the way they're portraying this guy. It just doesn't seem like it's supposed to be the right way. But then as the episode kept going and the show kept progressing, I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. I like the original guy better, or the one that I saw first better. But that's just because, again, that's the first version of that character that I saw, and it kind of left a first impression imprint on me, I guess. But Charlie Cox, really good acting. All the other supporting cast members and whatever were doing fantastic. The special effects were really good. The practical effects were really good. The fight choreography was really well done. The CGI was pretty well done. There was one moment I think in this show, or this particular season, where I thought the CGI just looked a little weird, but I don't really watch something to complain about its CGI. That's why I didn't care what the She-Hulk show looked like when it first got a trailer. I remember the internet was like, oh, the CGI looks a little crappy and it looks too wonky and whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know what? It may look a little weird, but that's because you're looking at something that's done by a computer. So, yes, CGI is never going to be perfect. I mean, yes, there are good qualities of CGI. There's many different stages of CGI. But let's be honest here. It's really not that bad. I personally don't watch a show or a movie to tear it apart. If I'm going to watch a show or a movie and I get any of enjoyment out of it, I can't call it utter crap. Now, that doesn't mean I won't be harsh on the movie when I'm done with it, or show, or whatever. But people were being a little too cruel on She-Hulk. I mean, no, the show is not perfect, and yes, it has had its flaws. But it's okay. It's a fun show. It's a stupid fun show. That's exactly what it knows exactly what it is. But anyway, back to Daredevil. Some of the gadgets in this show are really good. This season, I thought were really fun. Some of the plot twists were okay. I mean, there was one particular plot twist towards the later end of the season when I'm like, okay, not sure why you guys did it that way, but I can see it. There's a couple. There are some cameos. About a little bit more than halfway through the season, from the first season. The finale of this season was confusing as all get out for me. I don't know why they ended the season that way. I mean, I do, because they wanted to have like, oh, well, is it going to be this way? Is it going to be this way? Is it going to, I get why they did it that way. I don't get why they did it that way. Because I love the ending of the first season. I thought the ending of the first season was really well done. The way they pulled that off and the execution on it. But for some reason, this season's finale was just like, okay, I get what you're doing. I see where this is headed, but like, why are you doing it this way? And then like the actual ending of the entire season was just like, what? Because a certain character has something happen, and then they like do something later and put it in this gigantic thing. It's a really weird thing, and I'm assuming said character is gonna come back again later, but it's just it was a really fun and weird season. That's just what it is. It's a fun season, but I definitely would not make it the best season. It wasn't bad. It was still, for me, I still got an enjoyment out of it, but really, the best parts of season 2 for me are anytime Daredevil's on screen, and anytime the secondary character is on screen. After I got used to seeing him the way he was. Other than that, all the other supporting cast members, they all did their part. They were there. They showed up. They looked really good. The story was really fun. Like I said, there were some story elements where I'm like, okay, that I would have done it this way, but at the same time, you can't move the plot anywhere unless you do it this way. So I guess that makes sense. But this is still not a bad season. There are moments where I'm like, okay, let's just move it along. Let's keep going. But I get why they did it after the fact that they do the big reveal. Still not as bad as some of the Disney Plus shows that people are talking about. I have yet to see all of them except for I've watched Moon Knight. I'm caught up with She-Hulk. I've seen WandaVision. I've seen bits and pieces of Loki. But I have not watched Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I did not watch, what was the other one? I swear there was Miss Marvel. I refused to watch Miss Marvel. Just because it just looked stupid. And I never liked the character of Miss Marvel to begin with. There was one other thing. I can't remember. I know there was another one I'm missing. Anyway. But from what I've seen, they're pretty formulaic shows. I mean, they build up, and then reveal everything in the last 30 minutes of the finale, which is fine. Marvel does have. People say Marvel has a formula. Marvel doesn't have a formula. They do try to do stuff different, but they keep in the same elements. So people are like, "Oh, Marvel's too formulaic and whatever." Blah 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 blah. No, Marvel knows what they're doing. Well, for the most part, they know what they're doing. But, they've been doing this crap for over 10 years. And just now, in the 4th phase, they're having some massive slashback, essentially. And again, people got to remember that Phase 4 came out during the pandemic. So, they had to still keep a schedule, but also make sure that everyone was checked and ready to go beforehand. So I'm willing to give season 4 leeway on that. Hopefully I'm hoping to get phase 4 and 5 I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I'm giving phase 4 some slack on that because I'm not one of these toxic people who are like, oh, phase 4 was complete crap and everything else and blah 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 blah. No, it may not have been the best phase, but people also have to remember there are hundreds of thousands of people who work on those and put their hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears into those things, and sometimes they turn out really well, sometimes they don't. Apparently with Phase 4, a lot of people think it did not work, but I'm one of those people that I still get enjoyment out of it. It's not something I can totally hate on. But anyway, loving Daredevil so far. Season 2 was definitely slower and a little bit more of a slightly less paced season. And the surprises that they have in the show completely caught me off guard because I'm like, okay, I expected him to come in later. Or expected her to show up later. It was something like that, but it made sense. It was like a limited series. There was no guarantee that there was going to be 20 seasons of Daredevil. So anyway, loving the show so far. Can't wait to see where they go with season 3, and I will do an update or review on season 3 whenever I do it. This is so much easier than doing it episode by episode by episode by episode by episode by episode, because that would take way too long, and since this show has been out for over 5 years, then it is just so much easier doing it this way. So anyway, post your comments down below and let me know what you guys think of my review on Daredevil Season 2. And I will be back in after a while, well, not after a while, but in a few days, whatever, to do Season 3's review, which would be the Season 3's finale, but you get the point. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys later next time. Bye.